Good morning. Right, we have an interesting game. A very welcome sight for anybody who likes a Survivors style game. For those of you who don't know, Survivors is a very popular game where you run around in a big field, kind of like you can see in the background at the moment. This is sort of the menu demo, the game menu, little sort of bit of demo play. So you control a little character who runs around in a field, and a growing swarm of enemies just run towards you from the sides, and you have some kind of, I suppose, magical weapon that attacks the incoming enemies. Let's jump in and have a look at the gameplay, but first I would like you to note that there is an excellent options menu that controls music controls, input, the window mode. It sort of replaces the little thing down at the bottom right that you have an issue that makes it full screen. It just does it through the options menu, which is really nice to see. Delete save data button, which I have clicked. So we're starting from the beginning. And now we have engine sounds in the background. The neighborhood is busy for a Sunday morning. Very annoying. We have an excellent credits page as well. Tells us about where all the various assets come from. But not for the music. So I don't know if the dev did the sounds themselves or something. Anyway, let us jump in and play around. We get to select our character, but we haven't unlocked any other types. So we are a warrior. This is our health. This is our run speed. This is our primary attack, which is this passive swing of sword. So just every so often the sword attacks whichever enemy is closest, hitting multiple enemies. And then we have an active ability, which you hit space and a little sort of sphere pops out and pushes all the nearby enemies back. So it doesn't really do any damage, but it's good for an emergency thing. And then it has a short cooldown. Right, so we are playing the warrior. Click play. This is us moving around. Press space for the active ability. That sort of ring would just push the enemies back, and these are the enemies that we're attacking. But we also have a chest that we can collect, which is like a free bonus chest that gives us one random upgrade to ourselves, in this case sword quickness, so our sword will attack a little bit quicker. Click on that, and I see that's our sword attack. And there are also things we can pick up, and we also get XP. So there seems to be two different things we can pick up. I suspect, without being told, that the copper things are money, and then the silver things are our XP level. There's a bar that goes along the bottom, and that's our level down there in the two. And then every time we level, we get a choice of one of two upgrades. Let's make the sword a little bit quicker. So yeah, we have a little thing down at the bottom left corner that shows us our various attacks. Looks like we can have up to 3. We have ice spikes. Sprays freezing ice in a random direction, freezing all enemies in their place, or we can move a little quicker. Let's do the ice spikes. I find them very useful and a lot of fun, although the randomness can sometimes be a bit difficult. And that's the kind of ice spikes effect out. You can walk through enemies when they are frozen, but not as they become unfrozen. Let's go down here and have a look, see what's going on in this part of the map. We have the ocean. Let's pick up some pickups. And this is the constant swarm of enemy that comes in from the edge of the map and just goes for us. So we can do more damage with our sword, which is a good one. As you can see, the sword hits multiple enemies, and the ice comes in clutch. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh, what on earth is hitting me? Wow, something was hitting me hard there. I don't know quite what that was. Anyway, that's the gameplay. And then we can go to at the end of the round there, because we died, we've unlocked a different character class, and we also get this progression menu. Because we've been picking up money, we only have 35 coins, so not very much. I don't know what hurt me there, but it really hit me hard. But yeah, so we have a sort of general progression menu that we can buy things. As you can see, we need 100 gold for those, and we only have 35, so it's probably the least amount of gold I ever had. But we have general upgrades that we will then start a new round with these upgrades. We have upgrades for the warrior class, and we have upgrades for the necromancer class, so you can switch between them. So yeah, if we wanted to then play a new, okay, we've unlocked the progression in the collectibles. I'm not sure what the collectibles are. I suppose as we pick up something, we unlock it as a collectible. Cards, enemies, kind of enemies. These are supposed to be rats. And achievements. And unlocking character classes and things like that. Yeah, for those of you who like chasing the collectibles thing, I'm not sure what's telling us about the upgrades. We can't actually afford anything, so yeah, thanks. It's a real helpful game. Anyway, so that is the gameplay. As you can see, we can now play a different class with a different attack. Yeah, different abilities. Instead of the sword, he has the scythe that spins outwards. It sort of spins outwards rather than attacking the nearest enemies, so the more skill required for it. And then the active, if you stand near where enemies died, they sometimes leave a tombstone. Pressing space near the tombstone turns them into little heads that shoot out and go and attack the nearest enemies. So yeah, so that is the progression of the game in general. That is the gameplay. I don't think I need to show anything more. So if you're just here for the gameplay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Itch.io games. And don't forget to leave comments, because comments are good for you and me and the world. Tra-la-la. Yeah, I do like to hear from you guys. It is good for you to train the YouTube algorithm. It's just nice to hear from people, as we all know. Right, so we have dealt with the gameplay, and I hope I have shown some people that it is a good game to play, because this is a very polished and very good game. And there is, of course, a Steam clickable here, so this game must exist in Steam. So go and have a look there. Go wishlist it if it isn't out yet. Possibly go support it there if you prefer Steam to Itch.io. I don't know. Anyway, there is a Steam presence. Right. So critique. Let us talk about the critique. First of all, the UI. So we have quite a chunky UI. The game graphics are, as you can see, quite heavily pixelated. Which is a thing. I like it. I like this. We were talking about the art as well. I like it. I like this art style. I like the pixelated graphics. I will warn the dev and anybody else who wants to use them. It can make it tricky for the player to see what is going on. You might be assuming that the player sees some detail that the player doesn't see, or takes a bit too long to see. So be careful with using the such pixelated graphics and assuming that the players sees what you see. I'm not saying don't use such pixelated graphics. I'm just saying bear that in mind, that it can make it tricky to see kind of fine detail that you might be relying on. So I mean, that's really talking about the art, talking about the sounds. I love it. It is just not optimal. Sounds are good. I think the music was kind of good, funky music. I enjoyed it. I did turn it off because of requirements for recording. The fact that there are controls for it is just, chef's kiss good. The sounds are a little bit dull, but I understand, especially in Survivors games, that there is a lot of repeated sounds, and unless the sounds are not particularly intrusive, it can get very overwhelming and annoying to have this just same sound over and over and over again. While I would prefer in the short term kind of more like metallic sounds behind the swords hitting and all of that kind of stuff, I understand that in a game like this, a more muted sound that just tells you what's happening is preferred. I would have liked more sounds around the special ability. So when you hit space, you want something nice to happen to tell you that the space is in fact working, and possibly a few more visual effects around the special abilities as well. The nice blue ring around the warrior special effect was good, but the necromancer's, like, not really much seemed to happen other than I had to watch closely to see if the skulls popped out. It would have been nice if there was a little bit more fanfare around the using of that ability, and some sound fanfare around using even the warrior's ability as well. This is obviously a dev build, so possibly that's in the plans, and yeah, I would like to see that. The specials are supposed to be wow, using the special, and it's like cool, and this is where the real power of my character lives. So a lot more audio, and I suppose for something visual fanfare would have been good around that. But I suspect that is in fact the intention for the developer. The game feeling, in terms of this kind of the game mechanics and that, I think is great. This is a Survivors game. It handles as you would expect a Survivors game to handle. Some of the effects are a bit intensive, and playing it through a browser, the browser's engine, at least on my machine, struggled with some of the more intense moments, but it's still, that was to be expected, and it's still handled fine. Yeah, so yeah, the game handling, the game feeding, the game mechanics, all absolutely smooth. I loved it. I think this is a really good example of the survivor game genre, and keep going. Fantastic. The immersion. This is kind of the final critique. I would like more story behind who my character is, what they're doing here, what's going on in this town, who is attacking. Are those actually supposed to be rats that are attacking? This is what I'm talking about for the pixel art making something unclear, because those are supposed to be little rat characters, I think, based on the collectibles page. But to me, they looked like little helmets, little sort of almost Greek style helmets, and I thought the helmets were attacking. I thought the helmets were attacking. No, I thought that there were little enemies, sort of small figures wearing these comically overlarge helmets who are running towards me. It is an example of why that kind of pixel art made it somewhat unclear what was going on. I mean, it didn't really matter, but it does mean that my understanding of the game level that I am at, of what the developer intends, was a little bit lost. So yeah. I guess work in terms of immersion. Now I know the immersion is hard to present in a language neutral way, and you either have to pick like a lot more English text that then needs localization, or give up on your translations, and just sort of absorb the loss of communities other than whatever language you pick. Or somehow present the storyline in a an unworded way, and that's difficult. That's a tricky task to accomplish. So, I don't really have a comprehensive answer for you there. I wish you a lot of luck, but I will just point out that if you want people to get pulled into the game, you're going to have to find a way to tell people what is going on. Who am I? What's the story? Where is all of this happening? Whatever you choose to tell, but it does need to be known what the background is to make people feel immersed and drawn into it. I don't know, there's a subset of the population that doesn't give a damn about that, but there's a subset that really is compelled by that. So it is something that you need to consider and work on in your game. And that is all the commentary I have. Thank you for watching. Come and play the game. The link will be in the description. And now my cat is yelling for no easily understandable reason. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.